Near the Sea of Galilee, a quiet hillside began to fill with life. From every direction, footsteps moved toward the same place, drawn by hope. Families carried the weight of their struggles, but also the spark of expectation. Fishermen, travelers, mothers, and children all came seeking something more. They searched for a man whose words healed hearts and whose touch changed lives. Even the elders, tired from long journeys, found the strength to climb the hill. Soon, more than 5,000 people covered the hillside like waves in a sea of humanity. But with every passing minute, the disciples grew uneasy. Jesus stood calm, steady, and full of compassion among them. The disciples looked at the massive crowd and whispered in concern. But Jesus looked at the people, not with worry, but with love. Then he turned to his disciples and asked, "Where shall we buy bread for all these people?" Philip stared in disbelief. "Lord, even months of wages wouldn't be enough." Andrew searched the crowd, hoping to find anything, no matter how small. And then he saw him, a young boy holding a simple woven basket. Inside it were 5 small barley loaves and 2 tiny fish. Andrew gently called the boy forward, unsure but hopeful. The boy stepped toward Jesus, offering everything he had. Jesus smiled warmly. To others it was small, but to him it was more than enough. He lifted the basket, preparing to bless the little that had been given. Raising it toward the sky, Jesus gave thanks, inviting heaven into the moment. The entire crowd grew silent, watching with anticipation. A gentle wind moved through the hillside, as if creation itself was listening. Then Jesus lowered the basket, and the miracle began. He handed a piece of bread to a disciple, as though it were the first of many. The disciple reached into the basket again and found more bread waiting. Another disciple brought food to a group of hungry children. Every time a hand reached into the basket, more food appeared. Joy spread across the hillside as people received bread and fish. Mothers fed their little ones with smiles of relief. Elders who had come weary were now eating with happiness. The disciples moved through the crowd, handing out more and more food, yet the baskets never emptied. They remained full, overflowing. The hillside became a feast, thousands eating together in peace. Children laughed, crumbs on their cheeks, enjoying every bite. The crowd leaned back with satisfied hearts, filled in every way. When the meal was over, Jesus asked the disciples to gather what remained. They collected the leftovers, astonished by how much was still there. 12 baskets were filled to the top, more than they began with. The boy stared in wonder, amazed by what his small gift had become. Jesus walked among the people, smiling gently, full of kindness. The sun began to set, painting the sky with warm light. Many thanked Jesus, touched by the miracle they had witnessed. He paused to bless the children, lifting their spirits with his presence. The disciples spoke quietly among themselves, overwhelmed by what they had seen. The boy returned to his family, holding his empty basket, forever changed. Jesus looked toward the fading horizon, peaceful and full of purpose. Slowly, the crowd began their journey home, filled and thankful. The hillside, once overflowing with people, grew still again, but the memory of the miracle remained, a reminder that when little is placed in God's hands, little becomes much.